Gaming history is packed with icons that shaped entire generations. Mario, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot and more. But for every mascot that made it big, dozens more slipped through the cracks. Characters who had the looks, the games, maybe even the fan base, but something just didn't click. Today we're diving into part 3 of my Lost Mascots of Gaming series. These are the forgotten heroes, the cult classics, the almost famous stars who deserve a second look. Some were held back by timing, some by platform limitations, and some were just too weird or ahead of their time. We'll explore their games, what made them unique, and why they ultimately faded away. Whether you're nostalgic or just a curious newcomer, buckle up. This trip down memory lane is packed with surprises. Let's get started. Kao the Kangaroo first hopped onto the scene in 2000 on PC and Dreamcast. Created by Polish developer Tate Multimedia, Kao was a boxing, glove-wearing marsupial with a laid-back attitude and a colourful world of classic platforming challenges. The game mixed traditional platforming with combat mechanics, where Kao would punch, jump and spin his way through vibrant environments filled with quirky enemies and hidden secrets. Despite solid gameplay and a charming protagonist, Kao struggled to gain traction outside of Europe. However, the franchise saw a revival in 2022 with Kao the Kangaroo Round 2 Remastered, showing that this little Roo still has some bounce left in him. Released exclusively for the original Xbox in 2005, Tork Prehistoric Punk was an ambitious platformer featuring a caveman named Tork, who travels through time to stop evil forces threatening his world. Built by the talented team at Tiwak, Tork mixed 3D platforming, puzzle solving and even some combat, boasting detailed prehistoric environments and an original soundtrack. But it released late in the Xbox life cycle and had minimal marketing, so it never caught the public eye. Still, it stands as a hidden gem with quirky humour and solid gameplay that could easily become a cult classic in future. Now here's a forgotten face with charm and class. Henry Hatsworth, the monocle-wearing, tea-loving British adventurer who starred in Henry Hatsworth in the puzzling adventure on the Nintendo DS. This gem matched up side-scrolling platforming with a match 3 puzzle gem in real time. As Henry explored levels and fought enemies above, you'd be switching to the bottom screen to clear puzzle blocks, balancing brains with brawls. The game's whimsical humour, tight controls and a standout soundtrack made it a critical darling, but its DS exclusivity and offbeat concept kept it from reaching a wider audience. Hatsworth never got a sequel, but he left behind one of the DS's most unique experiences. Scalar the Shapeshifter launched in 2004 on the PS2, Xbox and GameCube. You played as Bobby Scalar Jenkins, who's transformed into a mutant lizard by alien invaders. Scalar's unique selling point was his ability to shapeshift into different animals, like a crab, squirrel or even a rhino, each with unique abilities needed to solve puzzles and defeat enemies. The game's quirky humour, bright visuals and varied gameplay made it a standout, but a crowded market kept it from becoming a household name. Developed by Nintendo and produced by legendary Shigeru Miyamoto, Mania hit the Game Boy in 1996 and offered a unique take on puzzle gaming. You played as Muddy Mole trying to escape his family by solving intricate puzzles across 40 levels. The game's top-down perspective and clever mechanics drew comparisons to The Legend of Zelda, but Mania was never ported or re-released on modern platforms, which has kept it a hidden treasure for classic handheld fans. Rocket Robot on Wheels was a 1999 Nintendo 64 release from Sucker Punch Productions, before they became famous for Sly Cooper and Infamous. Rocket is a robot who races on a unicycle, solving physics-based puzzles in a vibrant, fully 3D world. The game's clever use of real-world physics and bright graphics made it a standout title on the N64, but it was overshadowed by bigger franchises and poor marketing. Still, Rocket's mix of challenge and charm make it a perfect cult classic. Jersey Devil was a 1997 PlayStation platformer that had all the markings of a cult hit. You controlled a purple-winged creature born in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey who uses his gliding, tail whip and wall climbing abilities to battle monsters in a surreal world. Despite a unique visual style and solid gameplay, stiff competition from Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, along with mixed reviews, kept Jersey Devil out of the spotlight. But for those of you who played it, the game is a spooky, memorable trip. If you've never heard of Punky Skunk, you're not alone, but it was a fascinating relic of the PlayStation 1's mascot era. Released in 1996, this title was a colourful 2D platformer that felt more like a 16-bit leftover than a PS1 showpiece. Punky had all the classic mascot tropes: extreme attitude, a love for gadgets like pogo sticks and snowboards, and an evil wolf nemesis. It was clearly trying to tap into the same market as Sonic or Aero the Acrobat, but the overly cutesy presentation and late release in a 3D dominated era meant it got lost in the shuffle. Still, there's charm in its simplicity. The level variety, catchy soundtrack and sheer oddball factor make Punky Skunk one of those "so I've forgotten it's interesting" kind of games. Released in 1997 for PC, Captain Claw is a swashbuckling adventure starring a pirate cat on a quest to find legendary treasure. Claw's wit, charm and pirate flair gave the game a strong personality, but its PC-only release limited its exposure. Today it's a cult favourite among retro PC gamers. Spark the Electric Jester is a modern indie platformer inspired by classic mascots like Sonic and Kirby. Released in 2017, Spark is a fast-moving jester with electric attacks, vibrant levels and catchy music. While still a niche title, Spark has built a passionate fanbase and is a great example of how old-school platforming mascots can find new life in the indie scene. From boxing kangaroos and prehistoric punks to pirate cats and electric jesters, these Lost Mascots show how vast and varied gaming history really is. Not every hero gets the spotlight, but each one helped push gaming forward in their own way. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to hit like, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Got a favourite mascot I didn't cover today? Drop a comment below, your pick might just be in part 4. Until then, keep celebrating the weird, the wonderful and the wild side of gaming history. Take care.